quiet of night, I whispered my plea, holding her close, hoping for her decree.
You're listening to Ancient Echoes, Ancient Stones, Modern Stories, Warm Welcomes. I'm your host, Samnang Bradley. Today we walk a path where movement is memory, Bokator Rising, breath, bones, and the return of Cambodia's ancient martial art. In this hour, I'll take you into training yards, temple carvings, and the conversations that stitch technique to identity.
And I'm Sovan Lida. We'll weave historical context with lived voices, masters teaching ritual salutes, young practitioners rebuilding lineage, conservators reading martial motifs on stone. The research and sources for the history I reference are in the show notes, a short bibliography, and location credits for the recordings you'll hear.
First, a quick frame. Bokator is often described as one of Southeast Asia's oldest combat systems. Its rhythms are stitched into temple iconography, dance, and ritual, not just fighting technique, but a language of posture, salute, and morality. Scholars and local elders disagree on timelines. Some link techniques to pre-Angkorian practice, visible in lintel carvings. Others caution against simple origin stories. We flag those complexities, and we list sources and notes. For now, listen for how movement carries memory more than a single date on a page. Section 1. The Master's Yard. Picture a village on the outskirts of a provincial town. A low house, an open yard, and a thin layer of dust kicked up by bare feet. I stand just beyond a ring of mats. The master, stooped but fierce, moves slowly through a form, each hand flick like a sentence in an old story. He begins with a salute. Hands pressed to heart, forehead, ground, an offering of body and intention. Bokator is respect first, he tells his student. We bow to those who came before. We do not start with anger. You can hear the quiet authority in his voice. This is not just a warm-up. It is a lesson about how to hold yourself in the world. He demonstrates an elbow strike, slow to the eye, packed with torsion, and explains lineage in fragments. My teacher learned from his village. He learned from the temple elder, who taught the youth after harvests. When asked why the practice came back after hard years, he laughed softly, a dry sound like scraped bamboo. It never left. It slept in people. Now we wake it. In the yard, a young student repeats a sequence, knees soft, breath counted. I ask the master about ethics. How does one teach violence and also kindness? He taps his chest. The body listens to the heart, he says. We teach control. We teach care.
From an anthropological standpoint, that pairing of combat skill and moral instruction is central to many traditional systems. In Cambodia, martial forms often intersect with ritual, dance, and sacred spaces. Temples were places where movement, story, and spiritual practice lived together, which is why motifs carved in stone can echo a physical vocabulary.
Section 2. Soundscape Interlude and Youth Revival. Listen. Feet slap on mats. A rope whips the air in a conditioning drill. A chant hums beneath practice. For a moment, close your eyes. You're inside a rehearsal hall where younger practitioners push each other through rounds, laughing, cursing the heat, and staying after to mend gloves and swap rice. A young coach describes why he teaches kids in the neighborhood. After school, they had nowhere. I teach them skill and job to hold focus. He speaks of mentorship as prevention and pride. Girls are there too, working on low stances and arm blocks. The art is not just for one gender. He tells me, we are making role models so the next generation knows what to be proud of. We talk about tourism and spectacle. The coach is cautious. Demonstrations bring an audience and income, but he worries about turning practice into a show. You must ask, he says. Ask permission to film. Pay. Respect the costume and the story. He asks me to mention this explicitly. Never take a sacred salute or ceremony out of context for a viral clip.
That concern is crucial. Heritage revival walks a narrow path between livelihood and appropriation. When practices are presented, credit lineage, name teachers, and if a ceremony is involved, confirm consent with elders. Ethical engagement sustains communities rather than extracts from them.
Section 3. Temple motifs, costume, and conservation. I visit a conservator working on a faded cloth used in ritual demonstrations. The fabric's embroidered patterns echo lotus and ogress motifs carved above a temple lintel. He traces a thread and says, "Movement comes from image. The dancer sees the carving and remembers the stance." He brings me to a museum drawer and shows a small, worn bronze figurine, a figure caught mid-kick. Artists carved what they saw in daily life, warriors, dancers, acrobats, he explains. Over time, those images help a body remember how to move. That continuity, stone to body, thread to practice, is a form of memory work. Conservators preserving cloth, teachers preserving posture.
The research shows a dialogue between visual culture and embodied practice. When conservators collaborate with teachers, costumes and carvings inform reconstructive choices. But we must remember uncertainty. There is rarely a single correct technique recovered from stone. Oral history and living practitioners complete the picture.
Before we move to practical tips, a quick note. Do not attempt combat techniques you hear here without supervision. Bokator training can be physically intense. Communities ask visitors to observe politely or join only in supervised introductory classes led by certified instructors. We list safe schools and community programs in the show notes. Practical takeaway and respectful travel tips. If you want to watch a demonstration, ask first, stand where indicated, don't mimic sacred gestures, and offer a small donation when asked. If you want to learn, seek classes that prioritize lineage and consent, check whether instruction funds community programs, and start with a supervised intro. Useful Khmer phrases: Sam ta, excuse me, / request permission, Orkun, thank you, Knyom chumriab suast, a polite greeting. Learn names, offer credit, and be humble.
From a production and research perspective, when recording, always get verbal consent on the mic, explain how audio will be used, and provide translations for complex terms. For listeners researching further, our show notes include readings on Bokator's revival, links to community schools, and credits for the ambient recordings used in this episode.
Closing reflection. I think of the master in the yard, tapping the earth with his staff, reminding us that technique is a kind of listening. Revivals like Bokator's are not simply about revival for tourists or national pride. They are about people choosing to keep a conversation with the past alive. The bodies we see moving today are not replicas of stone, but answers to questions. How to remember, how to teach, how to be in community. Thanks to every teacher, young coach, conservator, and listener who helped shape this episode. Credits and detailed show notes, including permissions and source citations, are on our website. If this moved you, subscribe to Ancient Echoes. Share a moment you loved and help us keep Khmer stories, dances, and songs alive. Quiet stones, loud stories.
From our team, please avoid attempting any techniques without trained supervision. Be respectful when photographing or recording. Always ask and consider compensation for cultural labor. If you're researching, check the annotated notes for contested claims and further reading.
Soft bells return. This has been Ancient Echoes with Samnang Bradley and Sovan Lida. Walk the temples with me. Hear Cambodia's heartbeat. Until next time, where history meets hospitality. Quiet stones, loud stories.
Oh, shining diamond, flawless and red, you stand so quiet, soft in the air. I dared not to rush you, feared you'd flee. Your heart too pure to belong to me. If you turn away, I reach and bind, press my hand, still body and mind. Your brows I trace, your breath I steal. This mark I place is dark and real. From this moment break and fall, hear the spell, obey the call. False love born from sacred lies, second one whispers through closed eyes. Follow me, don't fight, don't run, your soul is caught, my work is done. Empty will your light undone, under spell, under Sigmund. Crystal beauty, diamond bright, caught between shadow, charm and night. Time won't save you, truth won't last. This vow is carved, the line is cast. My words are smoke, my touch is fire. I bend your heart to dark desire.